5th, 2017 meeting called to order. We have an invocation by Commissioner Keller, Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Wilson, and then we'll have the roll call. Everybody please stand.
Heavenly Father, as we come together before you this evening, we ask a blessing on all of our community. As we move into the holidays, keep them all safe as they do their traveling throughout the area and throughout the country. We ask a blessing on all of our staff for the job that they do. Keep them well, Lord, as they do their jobs to help our town grow, our city grow. We ask a blessing on all of our first responders as they go about their job, keeping us safe. Please, Lord, keep them safe. We ask that you bless this meeting, Lord, and give us the wisdom to make good decisions for our city. And finally, as always, Lord, wherever our military are in the world, keep them safe and bring them home to us. We ask all of this in your name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Grogan?
Here.
Commissioner Wilson?
Here.
Mayor Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Furstner?
Here.
Commissioner Keller?
Here.
All right, we're going to start with the presentations and proclamations. First one's the presentation, Officer of the Third Quarter, to Detective Michelle Grogan by the CACOPD board members.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, and Mr. Frank. I'd like to introduce Detective Michelle Grogan, who began her career with the Ocoee Police Department back in 2002. Was the first time that we were introduced to Michelle, and I believe Commissioner Grogan as well. They attended the Citizen Police Academy, and from that, Officer Grogan went ahead and attended the Sworn Police Academy 2003. Since then, she has worked in Uniform Patrol Division as a school resource officer, and her current assignment as detective over family and special victims crimes. She has served in her current assignment since 2013. While in her current assignment, she has joined several task forces to include the Central Florida Domestic Violence Task Force, the Central Florida Sex Offender Task Force, and the Central Florida Human Trafficking Task Force, and is a member of the Child Abduction Response Team, CART. Detective Grogan is a wife and a mother. Her children are here, and is accompanied tonight by her husband, Commissioner John Grogan, and their children. Please, at this time, I'll turn it over to Victoria Laney, and she'll tell us about the award.
Yes, and it's important to know that we don't know who we're voting for. The names are redacted or blacked out, and so we just vote for whichever officer, narrative looks really strong to us. And it's always difficult because all the nominees are always amazing, and so we really have to work hard to choose. And this month we did choose Officer Grogan or Detective Grogan, and let me tell you why. The Ocoee Police Department received a phone call on September 27, 2017 from Health Central Hospital. There was a very badly beaten woman there, and she came in for treatment, but then she left unexpectedly. So where was she? An hour later, the police department received a second call about the same woman from South Lake Hospital. So Detective Grogan responded to South Lake Hospital and immediately could see that this woman was really severely beaten and injured. The Ocoee Crime Scene Unit responded to take photos of the woman's injuries as they were so extensive. Detective Grogan learned the residence where this aggravated battery took place also had a second possible victim and a baby inside. Ocoee Crime Investigation Division, CID, responded and began the process of watching the house while obtaining a search warrant and an arrest warrant for the alleged offender. The Central Florida Metro SWAT team responded to serve the search and arrest warrant on the residence. Detective Grogan was instructed to call the secondary victim inside the residence and try and get her and the child to safety before the SWAT team went into the house. And so this is not an easy thing to do. Detective Grogan called the cell number for the second victim, and there, all of a sudden, the suspect himself answered the phone. So Detective Grogan then had to think quickly, and she began an hour-long process, totally unrehearsed. For an hour, she was on that phone trying to get the suspect to let the female and the baby go outside. He wasn't, very willing to do that. She had to come up with a convincing story and try and keep him calm, but he would start ranting and raving about crazy things. Finally, when all efforts had failed and the SWAT team was about to go ahead and make entry, Detective Grogan talked the subject into going downstairs, leaving the other female and the baby upstairs. Detective Grogan stayed on the phone with the suspect as SWAT hit the house, and added to the confusion, needed to secure the suspect and protect the mother and the baby. In addition, after the arrest and search of the residence, Detective Grogan contacted Department of Children's and Families, the victim's family, the state attorney, and Harbor House Domestic Violence Shelter to ensure the victims received the services needed to break the cycle of abuse they had endured. Detective Grogan went above and beyond the normal call of duty and personified what all of us as citizens want from the Ocoee Police Department. So let's give her a warm vote of thanks for her service. Officer of the third quarter, well done, well done. Let's go over here so we can have a picture taken. Let's give more stuff. Here's some, she gets, in addition to this frame certificate, she also gets, I'm not sure you're always in uniform, but she gets a special ribbon to wear on her uniform, and she is in uniform. And so that's an honor to show that she's an officer of the quarter. So there's that, and also she gets a gift card, so she and Commissioner Brown
Good, John.
can go out. And we do want the family
Hey,
to come up and
I would,
grab a
yeah.
picture.
I think say have the family come up and get your picture
And
made.
then there's a copy of the, of our, award. Yeah, but yeah, let me out of here and let's have a family come up. So here we go. Well done. Here, thank you. Hold that. Here, one more round of applause. One more round as they get back to their seats. Thanks again. Thank you to all our officers in uniform and all our first responders for the city of Ocoee. You do a great job all year long, and all of you are dear to our hearts. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for all you do. So.
It's not on the agenda, but I just found out Mr. Mark Sittig's here from the Florida League of Cities to make a presentation.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the commission, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor for me to be here tonight, and I appreciate you getting me in on this agenda. I will start out by telling you that I had a very good first impression of your beautiful city when I had a little difficulty navigating some road closures and detours, finding City Hall, and all I did was hold my hand out a window, and one of your finest police officers pulled right over and gave me excellent directions. I know he's not in here because I would have recognized him. I wish I would have gotten his name, but that was a great welcome to your city. So it's a pleasure for me to be here. I won't preface this much because this resolution really says it all. It is a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Florida League of Cities Incorporated honoring Leon Rusty C. Johnson for 30 years of elected service and presenting him with the John Land Years of Service Award in recognition for his unselfish commitment to municipal leadership and governance. Mayor, could I ask you to join me at the podium, please? Whereas America's municipal governments have long relied upon the unselfish leadership of their citizens for local government, local self-government, and Florida's municipal governments share the time-honored role as the level of government closest to the people. And whereas this reliance places extraordinary responsibilities upon citizen legislatures, municipal elected officials, who make significant sacrifices of their time and energies on behalf of their citizenry, often for little or no compensation, making this commitment a true labor of love. Whereas municipal leaders strive for excellence in the governance of their city, town, or village and commit themselves to providing quality services, governing effectively, and working to improve the quality of life. And whereas the League has named its years of service recognition in honor of John Land, the mayor of Apopka between the years 1949 and 2014. So you've only got about 20 years. Yeah, you'll catch him. He was a leader whose dedication is unsurpassed at the national and state levels, who modeled the way for decades of municipal leaders. And whereas several terms in office is high compliment voters give to an official, and with these years of experience comes a strengthening of wisdom, discernment, and strong leadership skills that bring tremendous value to the municipal governments of Florida. Whereas Leon Rusty C. Johnson has held office in the city of Ocoee for 30 years and is recognized for this achievement now. Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Directors of the Florida League of Cities that Leon Rusty C. Johnson is commended for his dedication to the city of Ocoee and is hereby recognized as an outstanding public servant in Florida, adopted by the Board of Directors assembled this 18th day of August 2017 in Orlando, Florida. Susan Haney, President. Mike Sittig, Executive Director. Mayor, congratulations, a great achievement. If you'd like to say anything, there's someone that might be able to take a photo. If we might do a photo for our
Go on out to the,
Come up here.
yeah,
Okay.
go on out to the middle.
and our
I
social
got 30
media.
years of words to say.
30 years is a tremendous achievement.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. And I have your lapel pin as well. Yes, he is. Well, you've been around long enough to know that, haven't you? Your lapel pin.
I was just asking Mark, real quick, to say a couple words. When I first got into this, I dealt with his father. His father was over the Florida League of Cities, and Ray Sittig was a super guy. Used to come down all the time and deal with us here with the Tri-League of Cities. Ray was a great guy, plus a great golfer, too. So. But it's good seeing you, Mark, and I appreciate it. I didn't know we were doing this tonight, but I truly believe it's been a good time for me, and I have enjoyed all the years. It seems like I had hair, too, when I started back when I was about 40 years old, but it was fun. It's always good to do things for citizens, and it's good to do things for your town that you love. And this town that I do love, and I enjoy every minute of it, but I take a great honor in representing citizens of this city. So it's my pleasure, and I have served with a lot of different people over the 30 years, but I will tell you that they've all been good people, but this last crew and group of commissioners I have truly enjoyed working with, and we've got along great, and things are starting to happen in this city. Thank you very much. Should have told those to stay. I have one more presentation. We'll ask the Lions Club, Kathy Sills and Bob, come up, please. Is that all that's here, just you two? Okay.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. As we know, the parade was just this past Saturday, and as we collect toys, these were some that were left over that made it to the Lions Club instead of the drop-off point. Additionally, we have a box of books from Chick-fil-A, kids' books, and additionally, we have money. The Lions Club is presenting a check for the Kids for Toys and Needs for $250, and we also collected another
Two entrants donated $350, so we have $600.
$600 for the Kids for
Plus
Toys
a
and
truckload
Needs.
of toys, plus these toys, plus a box of books, so we'd like to give today.
Bob, I'm sorry, your name went blank in my head.
Bob Booty.
When I got the Bob part.
Bob doing it, yeah.
I know. Sorry, go ahead, Chief.
Mayor, this kicks off our Toys for Kids in Need program. Every year we give toys to close to 500 kids, over 200 families, and the way we do it is completely through donations. So we take in a lot of cash, go buy a lot of toys, and also Operation Santa starts tonight. So if Operation Santa's coming through your neighborhood, take a toy to Santa, and it will get to kids that need that in Ocoee. So I really appreciate Lions every year they come through, and it's helpful, very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Back.
Take a picture. Picture.
One more photo.
Yeah, you might not want to have the plastic bag, Bob.
Cowboy guns.
Thank you.
Well, I know we'll say it at the end of the meeting, but while y'all here, Bob and Kathy, we want to thank you, the Lions Club, for the Christmas parade last Saturday. It was great turnout.
I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
The biggest, most people I ever
Yeah.
being in the parade.
Yeah, it was great. There were a lot of people. Yep, a little hot, but.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you very much. It was great. We appreciate it. Yep, thank you. All right. I think that does it for presentations. Now we're going to have the comments from citizens of the public, which is anything that's not on the agenda. If it's not on the agenda, now's the time to get up and speak about it. And we're going to recognize the Ocoee High School cheerleaders. It says Kristen and Kristen. Y'all twins?
No, we just have the same name. I'm Kristen Johnson.
I'm Kristen Finger, 1513 Acropolis Circle in Ocoee.
And we're the head coaches of the Ocoee cheer varsity cheerleading squad. This past Saturday, we performed in the UCA regional competition, and we placed second place and received a bid to nationals. This was the first time in the history of Ocoee High School that has been open for 12 years that any cheerleading team has received a bid, so it was a pretty big honor. With that bid comes the opportunity to go to nationals, which will cost our cheerleading team $6,600. With that being said, we came to ask the city commissioners and the mayor if you would want to sponsor our team to help us achieve the dream of going to nationals in a few weeks.
All right. First of all, where it won't hurt you, you're not related to me, right?
No, sir. I'm only a Johnson by marriage.
I don't want anybody to think it's prejudice to work here.
I'm a Clinka Johnson,
Not that
so by marriage.
Johnson's kind of a popular name, I guess.
It is very, it is very.
But, all right, commissioners, I think, real quick before I say that, I think Ocoee High School is a great place. I was out at the football game, and we have our orange games there. I think it's a great place for our kids, and let's see what the commissioners have to say here.
I'm more than happy to say something. I'm usually the Scrooge of the group, so we start out with that. So it's okay for me to say something?
Yeah.
Usually I prefer to go through the merit board. We have a merit board that we ask everyone to put an application in, but I know that you guys are kind of pressed for time. But I was thinking that possibly you could ask the commissioners if we would make the, I know you're looking for a lot of money, but we usually don't do that. Usually it's
Well, you got the whole thing
well,
just
the merit is
something to
usually
help.
$500, and I'm wondering if we could offer the $500 out of the merit board money, because we're just starting out the budget year, and they haven't done their awarding yet, that we could remove $500 from that merit board budget and offer $500.
All right, real quick before you make that motion.
I didn't make a motion, I just, a
All right,
suggestion.
what I would ask if we do the 500 out of the merit board and 500 out of contingency, make it 1,000.
How are we doing, and I'm gonna ask this right now, how are we doing, I know we just started the budget year, but didn't we do something with contingency and drop it down drastically?
No, you have most of your contingency line item too. You had it was $1,500 used for speed bumps for during the construction at the last meeting. Otherwise, that's the only thing that's been taken.
Oh, that's right, okay, I just knew we reduced one of the contingencies quite a bit. I'm fine with making that motion. I'm happy to see our youth, just please don't apply for the merit board.
No, ma'am.
I'll second.
All right, Commissioner Wilson made a motion for 500 from the
From the MVP?
the merit MVP awards and 500 from the contingency. All right, seconded by Commissioner Grogan. Any more comments? No more comments?
Congratulations.
Let's
Thank
vote.
you. Thank you.
All right, they got to give one cheer before they leave. You got to come up front, give a cheer.
Now you're going to embarrass the mayor.
Hey,
I think they need to
Do
go
the
do
old
some
boy cheer.
fundraising.
Come on.
I think they need to do some fundraising.
you forgot it. And then take their picture also.
Yeah, face that way because you're on TV.
Okay, now we move.
Just a quick one.
Go! Forward, go! Knights! Stand up, move around, follow the beat, it's time to get down, yeah, go! Big flag! Go! Big flag! Knights! Stand up, move around, follow the beat, it's time to get down,
Let us know how you do when you go.
Yeah, keep us informed.
Okay, all right. All right, thank you. Thank you.
I guess we lost half our audience.
Hey, let's split half on this side.
Watch over that too.
Uh-oh. I would try that, but I'd get hurt.
I was just gonna say, I thought, oh, please, don't let anything happen.
Anybody else in the public have anything that's not on the agenda?
Mr. Manaki.
Mr. Manaki. When's the next meeting? December the 19th. You gonna come do that jump the next meeting?
Are you gonna,
December the 19th. Yes, sir. Yeah, we're gonna have it. All right, anybody else? Nobody else. All right, we're gonna move to staff reports.
I have nothing, Mayor.
All right. Now comments from the commissioners. Commissioner Keller.
All right, thank you. I did want to thank Lions Club for the parade. It was very good this year. We did have quite the number of people in it, so I thought that was really good. And also, congratulations, Mayor, on 30 years. That's quite an accomplishment, and really appreciate what you have done for the city over that time. So, congratulations again.
Thank you.
That's all, Mayor.
Commissioner Firstner.
Yes, congratulations. The police department has a few activities planned coming up in this next week, and we'd like to see you all come out and support that, the way that you've supported the parade and other activities. They have Stuff the Police Car at Walmart on December 9th, and that's from 10 a.m. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Shop with a Cop, Walmart, on December 16th from 7 a.m. on. And Operation Santa is starting tonight, and it's ongoing for the next week or so. You can check the dates and times on the website, the city website, or you could email myself, and I can provide that to you. That's all.
Commissioner Wilson.
nothing at this time, but well, I don't know if it's the right time at the end. Mr. Manaki just brought up a interesting point, the 19th.
We're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that later?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure, because we're going to talk about it later, Mr. Manaki. I'm fine, thank you.
Commissioner Grogan.
I have nothing at this time, thank you, man.
All right, I got a couple things here to read. The announcements. The City Advisory Council for the Ocoee Fire Department currently has 7 vacancies and is in need of board volunteers. This board meets quarterly on the second Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. If interested in being appointed to this board, please visit the city's website to download the application for submittal or contact the office of the city clerk for more information. The 17th annual Operation Santa is taking place December the 5th, 7th, 11th, 13th, 19th, and 21st. Santa Claus and his helpers will visit the neighborhoods tossing candy and spreading holiday cheer to children and families. When the float arrives, residents are being encouraged to give Santa new unwrapped toys. The toys will be donated to the Ocoee Police Department's Holiday Toys for Kids in Need drive. For a complete list of the 64 subdivisions Santa will visit, go to Ocoee or Ocoee, the Ocoee Fire Department at 407-905-3140. In observance of Christmas Day, City Hall will be closed on Monday, December the 25th, and Tuesday, December the 26th. No trash collection is scheduled for these days. That will be posted, I hope, on our TV.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. I just real quick about that award, I want to say that I don't know a lot of you know John Lamb, but John Lamb was a guy that was really a great person and worked for his city in Apopka for all those years, 60 years, whatever it was. Yeah, like 60, and I got to deal with John over the years, and he was always a pleasant person to be around and talk with, and he was always talking about the city of Apopka, no matter where he was at and where he was doing. He'd be telling you how great Apopka was. So he was a great guy. So I appreciate it very much for having his name on that. We're going to move to the consent agenda.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Motion to approve the consent agenda by Commissioner Keller, seconded by Commissioner Wilson. Any more comments? If not, let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. All right, we're going to move to the item I, second reading of ordinance, public hearing. Second reading of ordinance amended the City of Ocoee Municipal Police Officers and Firefighters Retirement Trust Fund, amending Section 30 Supplemental Benefit Component for Special Benefits, Chapter 175 and 185, Share Accounts. Police Chief Brown.
Let me go ahead and read the title to this ordinance. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, relating to the City of Ocoee Municipal Police Officers and Firefighters Retirement Trust Fund, amending ordinance number 2010-019 as subsequently amended, amending Section 30 Supplemental Benefit Component for Special Benefits, Chapters 175 and 185 Share Accounts, providing for severability of provisions, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date.
Mayor, Commissioners, this ordinance change is provided by the Pension Trustees Board due to the two things: a state law change, which made it mandatory that we had a trust fund, a share plan, and in the last contract, due to some of the negotiations or lack of negotiations, it was funded with money that was left over that the state stated we have to do something with. So this basically brings us in line with the state statute and makes specific place that this money has to go. So recommend that you pass it. If you have any questions on it, I can answer them.
All right. I'm going to open it up to the public.
Okay.
I'm going to open up any discussion in the public for the item I from the public hearing for the Ocoee Municipal Police Officer and Firefighters Retirement Trust Fund. Nobody with comments? We'll close it and bring it back to the dais. Voting. Anybody have any comments?
No.
I need a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Motion made by Commissioner Wilson, seconded by Commissioner Keller. No more comments, let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Chief. All right, second reading of ordinance for GMMG-LLC, 1737 North Lakewood Avenue. It's for annexation and initial zoning. Planner Jones, did he leave? He was in here.
I'll go ahead and read
There
it.
he is, he went to the back.
Let me go ahead and read the title
Read the
to this
title.
ordinance. This is the annexation ordinance, an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, annexing into the corporate limits of the City of Ocoee, Florida, certain real property containing approximately 0.64 acres located on the east side of North Lakewood Avenue, 575 feet south of Fuller's Cross Road and 1,555 feet north of Worst Road, pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner, finding said annexation to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, the Ocoee City Code, and the Joint Planning Area Agreement, providing for and authorizing the updating of official city maps, providing direction to the city clerk, providing for severability, repealing inconsistent ordinances, providing an effective date. And the rezoning ordinance, this is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, changing the zoning classification from Orange County A1, low-density residential, to Ocoee R1, single-family dwelling on certain real property containing approximately 0.64 acres, located on the east side of North Lakewood Avenue, 575 feet south of Fuller's Cross Road and 1,555 feet north of Worst Road, pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner, finding such zoning to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, the Ocoee City Code, and the Joint Planning Area Agreement, providing for and authorizing the revision of the official city zoning map, repealing inconsistent ordinances, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
That cover both of them, so this present, and we just made one motion. All right, first, I'm going to open it. Dwayne, sorry, Mr. Jones, do you want to have any comments, or you just want us to? You got any comments?
I was just going to present.
Okay, all right.
Okay, good
You don't
evening.
get up here often, you.
I know, it's the first time.
First time in 5 years.
First time in 5 years. You look good up there, so don't worry.
For the record, my name is Dwayne Jones, Planner 1. I will be presenting to you 2 annexations and rezonings this evening. The first project is GMMG LLC annexation and rezoning The address for this property is 1737 North Lakewood Avenue. The property is located on North Lakewood Avenue, a couple 700 feet south of Fuller's Cross Road and across the street from the future Innovation Montessori School, which has already been annexed. The lot size for this property is 0.64 acres, and as you can see from the aerial map, there's existing single-family home. The city's requested rezoning will be R1 zoning. This property currently meets those standards for R1 zoning, and the future land use for this property is low-density residential, which complies with the R1 zoning. And by annexing into the city, this property will be able to have the full benefits of water, trash, fire, and police assistance.
All right. All right, we're going to open it up to the public for any comments in the public. All right, no comments in the public. We're going to bring it back to the podium here to see if anybody has any comments. If not, I need motions and second. We're going to do, first one is going to be the annexation ordinance.
I'll make a motion to approve the annexation ordinance.
Second.
Seconded. I have a motion by Commissioner Fershner for annexation ordinance and a second by Commissioner Grogan. No more comments, let's vote. You need to read anything again? All right, well, now we're going to open it back up for the public hearing again on the rezoning. No comments on the rezoning, I'll bring it back to the podium. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the rezoning ordinance.
I'll second.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Fershner for the rezoning ordinance, seconded by Commissioner Grogan. No more comments, let's vote. All right, stand right where you're at there, Mr. Jones. Second reading of ordinance for Sullins, 1928 Adair Street, annexation and initial zoning. Mr. Jones.
Let me go ahead and read the title to those ordinances. This is an ordinance of the city, this is the annexation ordinance, an ordinance of the city of Ocoee, Florida, annexing into the corporate limits of the city of Ocoee, Florida, certain real property containing approximately 0.5 acres located on the west side of Adair Street and across from Marlene Drive pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner. Finding said annexation to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, the Ocoee City Code, and the Joint Planning Area Agreement. Providing for and authorizing the updating of official city maps, providing direction to the city clerk, providing for severability, repealing inconsistent ordinances, providing for an effective date. And this is the initial zoning ordinance. This is an ordinance of the city of Ocoee, Florida, changing the zoning classification from Orange County A1 low-density residential to Ocoee R1 single-family dwelling on certain real property containing approximately 0.5 acres located on the west side of Adair Street and across the street from Marlene Drive pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner. Finding such zoning to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, the Ocoee City Code, and the Joint Planning Area Agreement, providing for and authorizing the revision of official city zoning map, repealing inconsistent ordinances, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
Okay. This project is called Sullins Annexation and Rezoning. The property address is 1928 Adair Street. This property is located on the northwest side of Adair Street across from Marlene Drive. The property directly across from it is in the city limits, so they're eligible for annexation. The property is seeking annexation for water service that will be available at the front of the property. The property lot size is 0.50 acres with an existing single-family home. The city's requested rezoning will be R1 zoning. It complies with that zoning currently, and the future land use of this property is low-density residential, which complies with the R1 zoning. And with annexation approval, this property will receive the full benefits of water, trash, fire, and police assistance.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to open it up to the public. Any comments on this item? We're going to close that, bring it back to the podium for a motion on annexation.
Make a motion for the annexation.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Grogan for annexation ordinance, seconded by Commissioner Wilson. No more comments, let's vote. All right, now we need to open the public hearing again for the comments on rezoning. No comments on the rezoning, we'll bring it back to the podium. I need a motion.
Motion for the rezoning ordinance?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Grogan for the rezoning, seconded by Commissioner Keller. No more comments, let's vote. All right, we're down to number 12, second reading of ordinance and public hearing amending the Land Development Code relating to Article 2 definitions, Article 5, Section 5.8, prohibited uses, and Table 5.1, permitted use regulations in overlay districts.
All right, this is I'm sorry.
Planner Rumor.
Can I go ahead and read that?
go ahead.
Let me go. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, amending the City of Ocoee Land Development Code, Chapter 180 of the City Code, amending Article 2, Section 2-4, redefining the term mini warehouse, and creating a definition for the term self-storage facility, amending Article 5, Table 5-1 to include limitations on specific uses in special overlay districts, providing for codification, providing for conflict, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
All right, for the record, Mike Rumor, City Planner. The item before you tonight is a kind of a final step, even though it may not be the final, in kind of dealing with some of the issues we had come before us on some properties, some important pieces of properties in Ocoee, specifically in our overlay areas. And those overlay areas consist of our CRA area along Colonial Drive, the newly adopted State Road 429 overlay, and then our future overlay, which will be over the downtown. And we had put a moratorium in place looking at specific uses such as fast food restaurants, dollar discount stores, the self-storage facilities, tire changing facilities. We also lumped in there under the moratorium the medical marijuana dispensaries, which we have adopted a complete prohibition on those. The item before you is going to be adopting, kind of helping accomplish three of the items. We weren't able to tackle and come up with criteria for all of them. The discount general stores were tough to really, even though an emerging trend in the retail, to really solidify and come up with a definition that would not stop other retail uses. So we are not accomplishing that item today. We are still looking at it, and we can bring it back anytime with two readings of the ordinance. So today, this ordinance before you deals with self-storage facilities in our overlays. Again, over the CRA, the State Road 429, and in our downtown overlay. So what we're doing is we're better defining self-storage, and we're going to make it an element, we're going to allow it as an element of a mixed-use development. It limits its impact to just 30% of the property. So for instance, the newer storage facility we have on West Run Road on Colonial Drive by the 429, which has a little retail office component in the front, which maybe makes up 5% of the building, that would not be allowed in these overlays. It's got to be no more than 30% of the development. Second item would be drive-in restaurants, fast food. Like we have in our CRA, we got the Popeyes got in before this moratorium. This is just looking at those properties in the overlays and saying, let's not have all of our prime pieces of property be strip fast food restaurants. So it limits the ability to have drive-throughs enter off of the arterial road and limits the location of those drive-throughs. The 429 overlay also attempted to kind of look at those drive-through facilities, but this just puts another layer. So in other places, Clark Road, Worst Road, Silver Star Road, near Clark, fast food is just under the old code. They will not be impacted. This is just, as I said, in those overlay facilities. And then finally, we looked at the tire changing station, and we have a provision that's going to permit them in the overlays, but it's going to reduce their footprint to 3 bays, and those bays are not able to face the road. Now, in a bay, you can really fit 2 cars. So they're able to service 6 cars at a time, but we don't want the tire changing facility We don't want that automotive emphasis in our character areas in the State Road 429 and in our downtown. The other items, as I said, the medical marijuana, we took care of, and so we just have, we're going to continue working on the discount dollar stores. And the case that really brought forward the moratorium, that moratorium helped. That property is now being developed with other uses, so that proposed discount dollar store did not site there. And so moving forward, I feel comfortable with the language we'll be adopting today. And as we go through the exercises of actually developing in these character areas, we can make adjustments as needed, and they can always request a waiver before this commission, because not every site is the same. So with that, I'll entertain any questions.
Yeah, Mike, when do we propose to bring back the discount store? Because are we still in the moratorium on this, or no?
Moratorium's over. Okay. So the discount, it's just trying to find a really good language that can encompass the stores under 14,000 square foot and not blocking a smaller grocery that could come into our downtown in a small building. So we don't want to prohibit those. So we just were not comfortable with where we were going with the discount. And I didn't want that to hold up us adopting this language, waiting on that perfect language.
All right, I'm going to open the public hearing for any comments from this issue. No comments. I'll bring it back to the podium and ask for a motion.
I have a question, if you don't mind.
Or,
Can I have a question
yeah.
first? With this overlay, I'm very concerned when since the last time we had avoiding the strip shopping centers to a certain degree, the Colony Plaza is going to start to come up pretty soon, I would assume. That's another prime piece of property along the overlay area.
Yes.
This is going to affect that, correct?
Yes.
Because it's a prime area. I'm very concerned what's going to go in there eventually, and because that is going to shape the area when you get off the 429 and the Turnpike, and that is going to shape your entrance into Ocoee.
Yes.
And so that's just,
absolutely correct.
I'm just saying that, just making a general statement that I'm very concerned about what happens there, and we need to take that into consideration so we make sure we get the right building there. Because if you start putting, depending what goes in there, again, getting off the Turnpike, that's your first entrance to Ocoee.
Yes, absolutely right.
So it's a great concern, what happens there.
Yes, and we're putting these code change in the overall overlay areas only. And the benefit we will have in our downtown and then some of the character areas of the 429 is there's some architectural details that will kind of prohibit those uses from coming in. But in the CRA target area specifically, there's not as much meat in the design standards that can alleviate that. But we want the developers to know up front. Typically, they go to the zoning use table first. We want them to find that issue right from the beginning and not get down the road, spend money, and then come ask for a waiver and say they didn't know. So this is going to make it clear to them up front, and then we can work from there on the site by site.
Because we're putting a lot of money, our residents are putting a lot of money into the downtown, into Ocoee, and these businesses are going to eventually reduce the property tax.
Yes.
So I think it's time that we, again, not give away the farm, just very careful what goes in. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to open it up. Did I open it? You did. Already closed. All right, anybody else up here have any comments?
No.
No more comments. I need a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second. Motion made by Commissioner Wilson, seconded by Commissioner Keller. No more comments. Let's vote. Done a good job, Mike. Thanks. Been a long time there. Thank you. All right. No more regular agenda. No, any staff action?
No, sir, nothing this evening.
Comments from commissioners. Commissioner Grogan.
I have none at this time, thank you.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes, I understand that besides stuffing the police car at Walmart on Saturday the 9th, there's something that I think that we probably all, when our kids were growing up, didn't have, which I see is very important. On December 9th, the police department is going to be doing a free child safety seat inspection, which I don't want to say how my child's car seats were installed, but we won't discuss that 30 years ago, but we don't, but it's so important now, and they're going to be doing this by appointment only. So contact the police department, make an appointment. It's very valuable. Our children are precious assets, and we need to make sure that the seat is installed correctly in your car. So call them. Besides stuffing the police department's car with toys, it's very important to make sure your children are buckled in the car correctly. So please call the police department, and that's going to happen on December the 9th from 10 to 2. Thank you.
Commissioner First,
No comment.
Commissioner Keller.
Nothing additional, thank you.
All right, a couple of things. I had an email today, Rob and Craig, from the downtown business section, wanting to meet with us and talk with us about some issues. One of them was about the Wayfair signs, but I thought we said we were waiting until we redid those streets to do those, but we were talking about doing Wayfair signs that shows where downtown businesses.
I think in the overall final streetscape that we have, we'll probably be adding to that. Yeah, I mean,
They've got some other issues. Did you get that email too?
No, I did not.
I'll send it to
Okay.
you, but I want to maybe, I told them that, I sent a thing back telling them we'd try to meet next week, see if we can set up a meeting next week about different issues about the downtown part. There's only parts of it that are ours that we can deal with, but we'll deal with that. The other thing is, is Steve Krug here still? There he is.
No? Oh,
There he is. I want to say that the speed bump's wonderful, and I know that we talked about them, and they did 3 for, I think, Rob, you said 1,500, but they need, and this is Rosemary's, and one of the gentlemen said it, and I know we can't do every area in town, but we need one more on Columbus, because they're cutting there at Columbus by the firehouse and cutting through Columbus on that little side street and doing the same thing they're doing in the other area, cutting across there on
Guilty.
Columbus.
If you're talking about the little side street?
Yeah, Columbus.
Yeah, I'm guilty. I've been going that way.
But you're not speeding, are you?
No,
Oh.
I'm not. No, I
Don't say that in public.
no, but I've been using that side street, so go ahead. Now I'm listening.
But I'm just saying, and they did listen, they need to hire that out. They did a wonderful job. So if we could do the one on Columbus, I think that's it. That's
do you
the
know
only
where,
other one
do you know what
that's
we're
asked.
talking about, Steve?
Are you referring, I was having a conversation there, are you referring between Columbus and Lakewood?
Yes.
Okay.
Lakewood's
There-
got them.
Right, I was going to say Lakewood has full
No, I'm
speed
talking about
tables.
Columbus. They're cutting, when they get to that part there, they look, and then they cut that way or cut the other way. But they're doing the same thing as speeding.
Would you, since there's a lot of heavy truck traffic that actually drives there, would you mind if I did a speed traffic study first before we
Well, if we do the
committed to
study, it's
putting
gonna be
those
too
in?
late. The road will be, there's not a lot of trucks go through there.
Well,
Well, Lakewood's got 2 speed bumps,
I'm not talking about
traffic calming
Lakewood.
devices. You're talking about I don't go there. You're talking about the little section of Columbus?
Columbus.
Oh, I
It's a
don't travel
block.
that one. I'm sorry.
It
My
won't
only
do us any
concern
good
is-
then. If we do a road study, that's not gonna help us.
My
That's
only
where
cons-
everybody's cutting through the same thing they were doing. I'm just saying, it's only one in the middle of it, so.
my only concern is with when you take them up, it ruins the road, and that road wasn't up for a resurfacing anytime soon, where Delaware and, not Columbus, Cumberland
I know,
are scheduled,
I know.
so I was concerned, that's
I
my
know,
only
but
concern.
I'm telling you, the problem is, and I can say that,
Yeah, they
and,
are.
stop signs, they still don't stop for stop signs. It don't matter what you put out there. I think if you put sledgehammers coming out of the stop sign, they might look at them and keep going. They don't stop at stop signs. I'm just telling you, they've asked for it, and it's hurt Commissioner Wilson's district. You don't think we need them there?
Yep.
I'm only one person. I'm asking.
Well, I would love the folks to talk to me. I haven't heard anything about that, but I know that what they're doing is when you go through the school zone, they cut
I
that
get a lot
side
of
street
emails.
drastically, and they.
I get a lot of emails.
I personally like to meet them at the other side when I'm going.
I'll send him your name.
Please do, but the thing is, I mean, what's it gonna cost us?
It's asphalt-wise and time, we had, about $500.
Would it be harm to just leave it there? I mean, that side street is
tell
a
you.
problem anyways.
I would,
It
if
is.
we put them in, part of the thing is, the reason we do the speed tables is they're designed that someone can go over them at 25 miles an hour, mostly emergency vehicles. If we start
not
putting
talking on
in
the side of
speed
firehouses,
bumps,
though.
no, I know, but even anywhere, the reason we put the speed tables is they're designed so that a fire truck can go over and respond, and police cars, without having to slow down. If we start putting all these speed bumps, you're gonna run into issues where it's a little more chancy if you make them permanent.
You know, I beg to differ with you on that, and I'm not trying to get, you've done a great job with those others, but I'm just telling you, that ain't, the fact of it is, people are not slowing down on those things because of their road closures. And the preacher's sitting here, I apologize, preacher, and I can't think of the name of him.
Pastor Harris.
Huh?
Pastor Harris.
He can tell you at the church, they're cutting through the fields. They're doing donuts around in front of the church in that property. They're coming through the pylons. They don't even stop for the pylons. They drive right on through them and go down and cut across and come across the fields. They drove through my yard, and I don't care if I just live there. It's my neighbors don't get disqualified because I'm living there. And it's a shame when you sitting there telling me about that $500. I'm telling you, and it's her district. If you don't want to do it, fine and dandy.
I'm not opposed to it.
That is a place that is in the same position of where cars are cutting through.
What happened to those
I'll do
ones
whatever
that-
the commission
I don't care.
directs. I'm all right with that, but I'm just letting you know from an engineering standpoint why we do the speed tables
I know.
over the
What
bumps.
happened to those ones that were,
The rubber ones?
the rubber ones that were temporary, that were had
That cost more money.
They came apart. They came up and they deformed over
Could we
time.
get police presence there during, before and
Then
after
again,
school?
no,
I know they're cutting
you
through there.
can't, because they're not gonna stay there 8 hours or 4 hours a day. They can't. I would
No,
vote
it's up to
yes.
all of
Y'all
us.
do what you wanna do.
It's up to all of us, because we all vote in other people's district too.
I know, I just said it.
Yeah,
would
I
vote
don't have a
yes.
problem. I mean, I know they're cutting through there. I know they're, I'll be happy to make the motion for the $500. I know they're cutting through there. They come out of the school zone and they cut through and they meet you at the other side.
And I won't ask, I'm not asking, I'm only asking because I got the email. I don't know about you guys, but I get about 200 a day. So, and I don't answer them, I guess, because people.
I'll second the
I get about
motion.
200 a day and I answer them. But I'm just telling you,
Mayor?
it's a sad situation because I watch them. You got signs, you got the signs everywhere, but nobody reads the signs. They don't care about the signs.
Mayor, I'll second the motion from Rosemary
Okay.
for the 500.
Motion made by Commissioner Wilson, seconded by Commissioner Grover.
Are we okay with, can I just, 1 second, are we okay with the fire department, because you've got trucks going over? I see the chief back there. We're talking about Columbus.
Blueford to Lakewood.
How many times does the fire truck go through there? Yeah.
And the motion to put the speed bump in also includes the speed table, includes the transfer of $500 from contingency, correct?
Correct.
Just clarifying.
Is it called a speed table or a speed bump?
Traffic.
That's a speed bump.
Oh,
I thought they had a technical.
kind of like
I
that
thought it was a-
drainage pond we were
No,
talking about.
it's a drainage guard.
Do I hear?
We got it.
Everybody vote, please. Sorry about that.
Will do.
I thank you, Steve. Like I said, man, those guys they do super work. I know you're busy with everything else they're doing, but they did.
We got a great team.
They look
Great team.
professional.
We're not allowed to drive down there and look.
They look
It says
good.
local traffic only.
Well, that don't mean anything.
Well, I haven't driven there. Don't-
Right, preacher?
Don't close the meeting.
Uh,
Did you, I didn't want you to close the meeting before.
I'm not.
Okay.
Anybody else got any comments? Already let you have your
No, I know, but I wanted to make sure that we were saying we were going to discuss something at the
Yeah,
end.
we're going to discuss I haven't forgot.
Thank you.
We're going to discuss the meeting on the 19th of December and January 2nd. We need to have the meeting on the 19th. That was-
No, it's Commission's pleasure.
Uh,
Totally Commission's pleasure.
and then the January 2nd.
What did he say? I'm sorry.
It's up to you if you want to have it.
Yeah, because there's
We
no
don't need to
second,
have it.
there's nothing second, no second readings coming up.
Yeah, but on the second, there's
Somebody said they had
important
something.
stuff to do with downtown, contracts and all. Al needs
Gotta
both
sign
meetings.
contracts.
If there is anything like that to do, I mean, we've done, we can do a notice in 24, 48 hours and get with you all, and I don't think there's anything outstanding out there right now. A lot of places are slowing down for the holiday instead of speeding up.
I'm just saying, 19th's a week ahead, so
What
it
did Al, you
doesn't
said that Al
matter.
had something on the 2nd? You
Well,
do.
he would like to, but the city manager says that we can work around it.
Okay.
It's up to you guys.
I think
There
I think we
again.
definitely need the 19th. I think that's from what I've been told. No?
I would go with the 19th, and, because it's a week out. I mean, it isn't that close to
Right.
Christmas, but I would definitely agree on
Taking the second off.
Well, Al, be ready for the 19th.
All right,
if that's
motion.
the thing.
Well,
Can you do it on the 19th?
Al, you want to try?
Al?
What do you think,
Yeah, I
Al?
mean,
All right.
Uh-oh.
Let Al speak. Might change.
Give Al a chance.
We'll give Al the chair.
All right, here's what's going on. We have a two-step process that we have to go through to hire the contractor for the Lakeshore Center expansion. We're having the interviews later this week. We'll make a recommendation for the top 3 ranked firms that would come to you on December the 19th. We would then start the contract negotiations with the top ranked firm, hopefully reach an agreement. This is a construction manager at risk negotiation, so there'd be an initial contract for the design support services, and that award would be on January 2nd. We have told the designer to stop work. They're at 60% plans and holding because under the CM at risk approach, they have to be involved in the final design decisions because they have to give us a firm price for the construction at the end of the design process. So if we delay that contract approval a couple of weeks, then we delay construction a couple of weeks. But that's entirely.
Can you, when you have the one on the 19th, that we pick the top 3?
Right.
Can you also make part of that moving forward contingent on meeting working out a contract with the top person?
You have to actually approve the specific contract.
Al, I think it's kind of aggressive, don't you, to have that coming back for sure on the 2nd?
We are trying to be aggressive because we have a construction deadline. We want to start in March as soon as spring fling is over with.
1st of November, right?
Right. See, that's what we're backing up against. We got 8 months of construction, and
Well, can we do what you said, Rob?
that's why we got to start in March.
Well, you might want to do that either way. I mean, being that it's on the 2nd, you may just want us to have either that week or early the next week.
Yeah, what about a special
quick
meeting?
meeting
Later
at
day.
some point in order to execute those
Rob will set
documents?
it up like he was talking about.
Okay.
So
Why don't we do this, if you don't mind, is let's make sure that we have good negotiations and such, and we would have a week's notice then to be able to set something
I
up.
think there's a chance that you might not even need to have a special meeting, because with the holidays in the middle of that and trying to negotiate that contract and get it through
We're
legal.
certainly being aggressive trying to meet that construction.
I understand, I just don't think it's going to happen, but.
So we can make a motion to cancel the meeting on the 19th.
Yeah, and if we do
January
need,
2nd?
I think that you were talking about canceling the 2nd.
Yeah, canceling the
Oh, the
2nd.
2nd.
And if we needed something within the next few days after the 2nd, we'd go ahead and just schedule a
All right,
special meeting.
I need a motion to cancel the meeting on December 2nd.
January.
January 2nd.
January 2nd.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Wilson. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Keller. No more comments? We're keeping the meeting on the 19th, canceling the 2nd. Motion carries unanimous.
Mr. Manaki, did you hear that? We're meeting on the 19th. We are meeting on the 19th of December. Okay.
All right, anybody else got any comments? No more comments? Meeting adjourned.
Oh,
Enjoy.